I always knew the answer to everything is raw action. The answer to everything has always been raw action. My dad had a tweet about this. He said that raw action solves all. And he used to say this. I'll give you an example. If you're a farmer and you need rain for your crop and there's no rain, you can sit there and say there's no rain, we're all gonna starve. Or you can stand up and do a rain dance. Now, will your rain dance work? Perhaps not. Perhaps the rain won't come. But I would argue that you're better off standing up doing that rain dance than just sitting there waiting to die. You have to do something. Raw action solves. So when I was broke, I was never like, I'm poor, what do I do? It was, I'm poor, I have to do something. If I was broke, I'd go for a run. That's why I was such a great fighter. If I was broke, I'd sit there and go, I'm actually poor. How do I make money? Dunno. Where can I get some cash? Dunno. What work can I do? Dunno. I'll just go for a run then. And I just go for 3-mile run. You just have to say, well, I have to do something. I can't just sit still and die. A lot of people are happy to just sit still and die or go to sleep and take a nap. Well, if that's what you want to do, then you can say a loser. That's fine. I'm glad there are losers, because if everyone had Lamborghinis, my Lamborghini wouldn't be fun to show off. I need you to look at it and feel the deep pain in your heart of regret and failure. That's the whole point of it. I need to drive my Bugatti and everyone be looking at it going, I'll never have one of those. And I can get all their energy and feel it all, and it makes me happy. Fantastic. So you can sit at home and do nothing. But when I was poor, I had to go for a run. I couldn't sit still or lift weights or do something. I couldn't even sleep. So raw action solves everything. And I understood that at a young age. But as you get older, you get to look back and you get to put your whole story together, the whole tapestry together. I knew I wouldn't stay poor. Did I ever think I'd get this rich? Well, I never said I wouldn't, but did I ever think it would probably happen at this level? No. But it's amazing how the compounding interest of just endless raw action adds up. I've never had a lazy day. I've never skipped work, never missed an email, never had a day off, ever. If you were to go through the last 3 years of my life, you will see that there's never been a day where I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. And it all just adds up, and then monumental success comes and you get to laugh at everybody else, ha ha ha, and life's great. Well, I think that initially, fighting is always the best thing you can ever do. Especially, it's the best way to spend your 20s because you heal superhumanly. You heal like Wolverine. And I can't think of a better use of that superhuman healing ability besides fighting. And it's going to teach you everything you need to know about personal accountability and hard work and overcoming fear and dedication and discipline. There's so many lessons to be found inside of fighting. And plus, it's the most respected sport on the planet. And I think that you'll learn more about yourself and more about life and more about the realities of how the world works if you're a fighter. So I think that's what's so fantastic about it. All of my wisdom and all the things I say doesn't come from books. It comes from life experience. And a lot of my life experience is the brutal realities of violence. So people say, oh, Andrew's so smart, Andrew's so wise, Andrew knows so many things. I've learned all of that simply through fighting. And if you're a warrior in life, the arena may change, but the battle never ends. It's just never ending. And you have to get used to fighting. You have to get used to being under pressure and under stress all the time and being the kind of person who can perform and smile anyway. And I'm glad I spent my 20s training because I can't think of something else. I find it amazing that, like, I speak to people my age and I say, in my 20s, I spent maybe, I don't know, let's say 3 hours a day. What's a decade at 3 hours a day? Let's just say 10,000 hours. I spent 10,000 hours in the gym training. You're the same age as me. What did you do with those 10,000 hours? And they can't even tell me what they did. What did you do? Watch TV, go out, go pub, sit around, sleep, nap, chase women? What did you actually do? We had the same amount of waking hours and the same amount of minutes. I know where 10,000 hours of my minutes went, and that's why I'm the champ. That's why I have 4 title belts above my bed. That's how I spent my 10,000 hours. Tell me what you did with your 10,000 hours, which is equal to, comparable to, or superior than how I spent my time. And they can't even name what they did with any of their time. They're like, don't know. So if you're 16, you need to be using every single waking minute towards things you're going to remember. You're going to remember training. You're going to remember working hard. You're going to remember trying to make money. You're spending your life and wasting your time doing things you're not even going to be able to recollect in a few years. You're going to wonder why you fall behind the people who don't waste time. Time is the ultimate currency. Time is money. Time is also strength and power and networks, connection. Time is everything. You convert it. It's like malleable. Time is like Play-Doh. Yeah. You can turn it into anything. You can turn it into muscles if you go to the gym. Turn it into fighting prowess if you go to the fight gym. But people have all this time and they just mush around with it. And then they're like, don't know why I'm failing. I wish I was successful. When you're living that type of life and you end up searching for meaning, you end up down the path of hedonism because the meaning is, I want to have as much fun as possible. But fun in and of itself, I was talking to another girl and I was saying to her that fun, she was saying to me, you know what, Andrew, all you do is work. You never really have fun. And I said, fun is haram. She goes, is fun really haram? I'm like, no, it's not. But Please understand what I'm trying to say here. What I'm trying to say is when you look at what most people do for fun, look, what fun is clubs, drinking, running around, laughing like a kid, all this, all the bad things in life, the negative haramities can be attained through this obsession with fun. If you find a man who's obsessed with work, I have things I need to do and I feel satisfied inside when I do them. I have duty and I have work and I have obligations to fill and objectives to meet. I feel happy when they are done. That is my fun. My fun is clearing my emails, making $2 million in the day, buying another investment property I don't need, going to bed, training hard, eating right. That's my fun. Call me boring. That's what I enjoy. When you were talking about that lifestyle and what you end up searching for in that hedonism, you just end up searching for excesses, right? To have more fun, you want to get more drunk, go to more clubs, and it's just a black hole and it never ends and you end up destroying yourself. Yep. We need discipline, we need purpose, we need to have parameters set for us. And truthfully, as a person, you're happier that way. That's why I quit drinking. People think I quit drinking because I reverted to Islam. That's not why. I actually quit drinking 2 months before that. I was extremely effective on alcohol. I would drink 4 or 5 times a week because I'm extremely rich and I have a very good life and I'm in my mansion and I'm drinking. I was still world famous. I was still making millions of dollars. I was still in fantastic physical condition. All the videos you watched me from a year and a half ago, I still look like a bodybuilder. I still outperformed everybody. I didn't have a drink problem. I could easily quit. In fact, I didn't even want to drink most of the time. It's just a party going on. I was still monumentally successful on alcohol and I could continue to drink alcohol for the rest of my life. But I stopped because I thought, will I enjoy having less fun? Will it be fun to have less fun? Okay, that's all fun. But would it be fun to have less fun? And I said, maybe instead of spending all of our money doing this stuff, we should spend all of our money getting very regimented. We should have loads of members of staff, and we should be up at exactly 7:46, and we should have a coffee ready and hot at 7:47, and at 8:01 we should go into the gym, and we should finish at 8:27, and we should have all of it. We should have everything regimented, and we should produce more content than ever before, and become richer than ever before, but just remove the fun and have fun in not having fun and just being monumentally competent and effective. Okay, well, I'll try it. Let me try for 6 months to give up all fun and just be boring. And then I learned some very interesting things during that time. Firstly, I learned that the whole idea of drinking for being social is now gone. I think we're at the age where if you were 21 and you didn't drink, you didn't have a life. There's no reason to drink for socializing because everything's online anyway. You meet everybody on apps. Nobody cares about drinking anymore. That's the first thing I learned. The second thing I learned is that being exceptionally regimented is fun. I truly enjoy it. I enjoy it just as much as I enjoyed because what would happen before is I'd do all my work and I'd train hard and I was always an effective person. I was still 1,000 times more effective than the average man. And then I would take 6 or 7 hours and drink and smoke and have fun and enjoy the fruits of my labor. I became extremely rich. Why not get on a private jet and have fun? But now instead of spending those 6 hours having fun, I spend those 6 hours continuing to work. And I enjoy it just as much. So now I'm sitting there going, well, I enjoy it just as much and I'm not damaging my health. I enjoy it just as much and I'm making more money. So it really truly ruins my day when a beautiful girl's like, can I see you? It's like, oh, I've got work to do. I'm regimented. I have to sit here and type. I don't want to talk to you and have fun and party. I don't want to do any of that. I want to do emails. You don't get it. I know to you it makes no sense. But you already have all this money. Why do you want to do emails? Because that's my fun now, regiment. So I decided to dedicate 6 months to being boring. And by the end of the 6 months, I was having so much fun being boring. What's good, fam? Let me hit you with something real. I used to chase fun. Parties, clubs, late nights, you name it. I was there, thinking that's what life was about. But 6 months ago, I flipped the script. I went all in on being boring. No drinking, no chasing the next high, just straight up discipline. And you know what? I'm having the time of my life. I'm so locked into this grind that I'll probably never touch a drink again. Zero temptation. Zero interest in what the world calls fun. When someone's like, yo, we're hitting the club, it's gonna be lit. I'm like, nah, you go. I've got emails to crush. That's my vibe now. And if you're ready to level up like that, smash that subscribe button and let's build something unstoppable together. I'm not saying I'm above it all, but I've seen it. Clubs, been there, parties, done that. Traveling the world, chasing new sights. Man, I've been everywhere. Who cares? It's all the same after a while. What lights me up now is running my empire, stacking wins, and kicking it with the people I love. Give me a night with my brother, battling it out over a game of Uno, and I'm good. That's my kind of fun. Maybe I've leaned too hard into the boring life. Maybe I'm that guy now. But here's the thing. I'm not just okay with it, I'm thriving. I love the routine. I love the discipline. I love waking up at 5 a.m., hitting the gym, crushing my work, and knowing I'm building something nobody can take away. Let's talk about fun for a second. The world's got it all wrong. They'll tell you fun is getting wasted, chasing thrills, living for the moment. But that kind of fun, it's a trap. It's empty. It leaves you with nothing but a hangover and a bank account that's crying. Real fun, real joy, that's achieving something. That's looking at your business and seeing it grow. That's stepping on the scale and seeing the work you put in at the gym pay off. That's sitting with your family, knowing you've got their backs because you've built something solid. That's the stuff that lasts. The only thing I do for fun these days is drive fast cars, but even that's tied to the grind. You think I just woke up with a Ferrari in my garage? No, that took $800,000 worth of this. It took work. It took focus. And that's what makes it worth it. I'm not saying my life's perfect, but I'm grateful for every second of it. Every high, every low, every lesson, it's all been a gift. I truly believe God's given me one of the best lives out there. Not because it's been easy, but because it's been real. The bad stuff, the pain, the setbacks, the moments when I thought I'd never make it, those are the best teachers I ever had. If you're out there thinking, man, why's life gotta be so hard? Flip that mindset. Every tough moment is a lesson. Every struggle is a chance to grow. Every time life knocks you down, it's saying, get up stronger. And if you're smart, you'll listen, you'll learn. You'll become a version of yourself you didn't even know was possible. If this is resonating, hit that subscribe button, and let's keep pushing forward. See, as men, we don't learn the easy way, never have, never will. There's no shortcut to wisdom. You've got two options, learn the hard way or the hardest way. That's it. God doesn't hand you a manual and say, here's how the world works. He puts you through the fire, he gives you challenges, losses, pain, because that's how you grow. My old fight coach used to say, you gotta feel it to believe it. When he was teaching low kicks, he didn't just talk about them, he'd kick your legs so hard you'd limp for a week. Why? Because you don't get it until you feel the sting. You don't respect the power until it humbles you. Life's the same way. God's gonna give you hard times, not to break you, but to build you. He's the best planner, and he knows exactly what you need to become the man you're meant to be. I'll never forget the first time I got knocked out in the ring. I was 19, cocky, thought I was untouchable, then bam, lights out. I woke up on the mat, crowd roaring, my coach yelling, and my ego in pieces. That loss hurt worse than any punch, but it changed me. It taught me discipline. It taught me to study my opponents, to train harder, to respect the game. That pain made me a better fighter, a better man. And every tough moment, since being broke, losing deals, getting betrayed has done the same. Each one carved a piece of wisdom into me. Each one made me sharper, tougher, wiser. I thank God for every single one, because without them, I wouldn't be here talking to you. I wouldn't be the man I am. You want to be smart? You want to be wise? Then don't run from the hard stuff. Don't sit there praying for an easy life. An easy life is a dummy's life. When you say, I just want things to be smooth, no stress, no pain, you're saying, I want to stay small, I want to stay weak. You're saying you can't handle the growth, but you can. You're built for it. Every bad thing that's ever happened to me, every rejection, every failure, every night I went to bed hungry made me better. It took away one more fear, one more doubt, one more excuse. It made me a competitor, it made me a warrior, and it'll do the same for you if you let it. Let's talk about wisdom for a minute. People throw that word around like it's something you get from reading books or watching TED Talks. Nah, man. Real wisdom comes from the grind. It comes from the struggle. I've never read a book in my life and all because I'm lazy, but because life's been my teacher. Every lesson I've got, every truth I'm spitting right now, I learned through pain. Through fighting in the ring, scraping by with no money, dealing with fake friends, and pushing through when I had nothing left. That's where wisdom lives, in the moments that test you, in the scars you carry, in the anger and resentment you turn into fuel. That's why I thank God for the hard times. They made me who I am. They gave me the ability to see the world clearly, to make the right calls, to damn near predict the future, because I've been through it all. Here's a story to drive it home. When I was 22, I was dead broke, living in a tiny apartment with no heat, eating ramen for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I had a dream of building something big, but every door I knocked on slammed in my face. One day, I got a call from a buddy who said, yo, there's a party tonight, come forget your problems. I almost went. I was tired, beat down, ready to escape. But something stopped me. I looked around my empty place and thought, if I go out there chasing fun, nothing changes. I'm still broke tomorrow. So I stayed in. I pulled out my laptop, taught myself how to code a basic website, and started pitching my first business idea. That night was the turning point. That choice discipline over distraction set me on the path to where I am now. Pain taught me that. Struggle taught me that. And it'll teach you too if you let it. If you're ready to choose to grind, subscribe to the channel, and let's keep this fire alive. Now, let's talk about the safe route, because that's where most people trip up. You think playing it safe, taking the easy job, avoiding risks, staying comfortably's the smart move. It's not. It's the coward's way out. And cowards don't get to sit in the shade of victory. They don't get peace of mind. They don't get respect. The safe route is the riskiest route because it leads to mediocrity. It leads to a life where you're just another face in the crowd, forgotten, replaceable. You want to win? You want to build something real? You've got to take risks. You've got to go all in. Start that business, chase that dream, bet on yourself even when the odds look bad. Because the truth is, the riskiest moves are the ones that pay off if you're willing to put in the work. Every gamble I've taken, every crazy move people warned me against has paid off. Why? Because I didn't half-ass it. I went all in. When I started my first company, everyone said, "You're nuts. You've got no experience." I didn't care. I worked 18-hour days, learned on the fly, and made it happen. When I stepped into the ring as a fighter, people laughed. "You're too skinny, you'll get crushed." I trained until my hands bled, studied my opponents like a scientist, and proved them wrong. Those risks weren't reckless, they were calculated. They were backed by hustle, by discipline, by a refusal to settle. And that's what I'm calling you to do. Don't play it safe. Don't hide from the arena. Step in, fight, and claim what's yours. This is your moment, fam. Right now. Not when you've got more money, more time, more confidence. Today, you've got a fire inside you, waiting to be unleashed. But it's not gonna light itself. You gotta throw fuel on it. You gotta embrace the grind, the pain, the lessons. You've gotta choose discipline over distraction, courage over comfort, risk over regret. Build your empire. Love your people by becoming a man of value. Show the world what you're made of. Because when you do, when you rise through the struggle, you're not just winning, you're rewriting the game. You're becoming a legend. So get up, get to work, and don't stop until you're standing at the top. If you're ready to be a legend, hit subscribe and let's make it happen.